line of monstrous bandits advance towards you. You hear creaking coming from the woods, when suddenly, belching out from the forest, the dire tree. You're up first.
I cast Fireball.
That's all of them. Roll damage.
All sixes.
Yeah!
Booyah!
All right, you're next.
I cast Cone of Cold. It says AD8 right here. 64 points of damage.
I cast Lightning Bolt.
That's all right with me.
You just did that.
Radiates this like golden energy, and I cast shield.
He looks down in sorrow and then turns a fiery gaze to the rest of you. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode.
You mother.
I'm Cork.
Nice. Cool.
Give him the official herald salute, Arcana crew.
Was that gonna be the answer no matter what?
Yes.
Okay.
And very quickly, my head just turns. It's almost like someone called me, and I look back at you and I give you one last wave and one little sad look before blowing you a kiss and waving goodbye.
She goes, hot damn, mama. And I'm gonna slap her on the ass, and then I'm gonna whip around behind.
We have an unboxing to do. This was sent to us by a wonderful viewer of the show who's been with us from the very beginning, I believe.
Yeah.
In this package, there are gifts for all of you, as well as candy to share.
I already prepped.
Okay.
Whoa!
Hooray.
The end of it now, you're coming to the other side. I need everybody to make one more constitution. And makes it over to this pillar.
Also, Cameron, this map looks amazing.
Right?
If I can throw that out.
I built it with my own two hands.
What about that other hand? What was it?
It watched. Stay safe out there, adventurers.
Listen, I can only catch the.
Welcome, travelers, to another thrilling episode of Arcanarama. Nude from the waist down. It's not perversion, it's survival. I'm Cameron Holt, and I'll be your dungeon master for the evening. I'm joined, as always, by our fantabulous penultimate Arcana crew.
Oh.
Introduce yourselves, Arcana crew.
Penultimate. Sam.
Nice.
Josh.
Okay. And I'm uncomfortably pregnant. Kitty.
Tell me, Doc. Will I ever crank that soldier boy ever again? Taylor Higginbotham.
Wonderful, and before we begin, we have some announcements, as you may have noticed from that intro. What?
What are
Oh, I see. I was like, what did I forget?
Nothing.
I haven't said it yet. As you may have noticed, it is our penultimate episode. We'll have more announcements on what comes next in next week's finale. But for now, I'm going to throw it over to Taylor to tell you a little bit about our first sponsor of the evening. Taylor, take it away.
I take it.
Who is it?
It's the Gilded Rogue, Cam.
Shit, I know
What?
him.
It's thegildedrogue.com. It's not just the Gilded Rogue, it's thegildedrogue.com. You can go there and you can click on all the images and you can buy stuff. You can also click like, I wear large shirts, so you click that and that's how you buy a shirt. So go over there and do that. You can go to the mugs and you can get little mugs, and medium mugs, and large mugs.
There's sizes?
No.
I got excited.
Yeah, I wish
what a
everything
little
had
mug.
sizes. Yeah, just little baby mugs.
Baby mug.
Maybe we'll talk
Tell us
to
what
them.
else is in
Yeah,
there.
the Arcanarama merch is also there. You can get things with spindles on them. That's about it. And it's great though because it lets everyone know what show you like, even if it doesn't say what the show is on it. But you can tell them because that's how shirts work. They're conversation starters. You know what else is a conversation starter? You are now the proud parent of a plant or a tree that is planted in probably, it's like Madagascar seems to be kind of the most common area. But if you buy
I guess.
things from the Gilded Rogue / Arcanarama, they plant a fucking tree. Isn't that rad? So you don't have to feel bad about putting on a shirt. So go to thegildedrogue.com and buy a forest of merch. It's in the About section. I always forget that. You can just go to the About section.
Hell yeah. Thanks,
Yeah.
Taylor. Sam.
For fun, comics, and games. There are local comic book shops. They may or may not be yours. They do have a host of webcomics online that you can buy and have delivered to your house, the one that you live in, or somebody else's house if you wanted to pull a fun, weird prank on your friends. Follow them on social media. There are links in our About section. Tell them that you said hi and that you love Arcanarama and also who each of us are individually. Tell them a fun fact about each of us. More fun comics and games.
More fun comics and games. Hell yeah. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, I'm full of enthusiasm.
I love it. I'm loving
Penultimate.
Penultimate.
Oh, next week you're really gonna get some announcements.
They are, though. They really are. I put in extra ones. Kitty, what's Patreon about?
Patreon is about that time when you were like, I wish that I could help them in a way that is substantial, but also get something in return. And then Patreon lets you do that. So patreon.com/Arcanarama, there's a link in the About section for this also. You can join one of two tiers. One's like $3, one's $5 a month. And there's like Chaos Hours, which we do after every episode. We talk about what happened. And then there's bonus artwork. There's artwork for special NPCs that you can use in your games.
What?
What? And then there's also a whole ass podcast that is we recorded before we started doing this show, and it was my first time playing, and it's very fun and also a little bit chaotic. And there's probably some stuff that I'm forgetting, but Patreon, that's where you do it if you want to do the help.
If you want to do the do.
If you want to do the do.
And if you don't, you could go hate watch us, if that's your vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vibe.
Vibe?
What did you do?
Vibe check.
Now that we've sufficiently trampled on that transition. I got a 9 this time.
19.
Nice.
15.
11.
13.
11. Fuck.
Hell yeah.
What if more movies did cussing?
I'm a real hell
really
bastard
are.
at cussing.
I can go the fucking distance.
Put in the chat your favorite movie that you want to hear cussing in.
Yeah,
I mean,
and maybe
Did you watch the new Guardians movie?
cover it.
Muppets Treasure
You know what?
Because you dropped some F-bomb in that one.
Which one?
Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Open the fucking door. So good.
Well, with those announcements thoroughly announced yet again, it's time to hop into tonight's episode within the Chamber of Prophecies. In this episode of Arcanarama.
It's like a 3-hour recap. That's wild.
Previously on Arcanarama. Within the Chamber of Prophecy, the Mistwalkers, along with Kyrus Threadwind and Pete Scuttlebum, faced off against Kendry the Wizened One and her Order of the Black Rain colleagues. The battle was hard fought, with Kendry using her advanced magics to summon a deluge of waves and even erased Kyrus from the field. But not before the Mistwalkers made quick work of the other villainous researchers. Ultimately, Kendry was captured alive. Will the Mistwalkers regret having let Kendry live? What is the Order of the Black Rain planning? Find out right now in the penultimate episode of Arcanarama.
Welcome back, everyone. We continue as the Mistwalkers find themselves standing within the now less populated Chamber of Prophecy. Kendry is bent over backwards with a rapier through her knee, unconscious, and all of her friends are dead. And you find yourselves standing there within the chamber. What would you like to do?
How dare you make that a word?
If I make them words, then you can't be offended. Those are the rules.
Probably we should go ahead and tie her up, right?
Yeah, I was thinking
Is there any
that.
like
Is everyone
magical
else
way?
looking pretty? Anyone looking not great right now?
I'm okay.
I'm fine.
I'm alright.
Nobody even touched
I'm all
me.
bloody.
Where'd that other guy go?
That is a good question.
Standing right
which
behind me.
Maybe Kendry can help. Can Pippin help me, like, restrain her? I want to make sure that she can't use her hands.
Yeah, go ahead and make a sleight of hand check with advantage.
Okay.
And this will set the escape DC if she were to try to escape.
Sleight of hand, you say?
Yes.
32.
Thank you. 32.
Nice.
I am expert.
I'm expert.
Is there any way you could magically restrain this one in case they could shift or get out of these things?
Nothing I can do.
I mean, I'm trying to get it so that she can't use her hands to do any spell stuff, but we're going to be asking questions, so I feel like we needed to be able to use a mouth hole.
Pete, anything?
Give me a second.
I mean, it's a big bag, I give you that, but I mean, you could...
Hang on!
Yeah, you can load a bit lighter.
I've got a lot of shit in here.
Yeah.
I'm a traveling merchant.
Is the door still with him? His little door?
Yeah, it's on a pendant. It is a pendant around his neck.
The pendant wears his neck.
Here's Pete. I don't think he has any spells that can work, that can really help with magically restraining someone.
Do we have chains?
I can encase her in a wall of ice, maybe?
If somebody can just
precaution.
be ready,
She might die, though.
that, you know, if she starts speaking like she's gonna cast a spell, just clap a hand over her mouth.
If she starts doing that, I do think I have some countermeasures.
I could stuff her in my bag of holding, but just her head
Up
sticking
to the
out.
neck?
Yeah, just kind of like cinch it around her neck.
I mean, if she could cast spells by speaking, then she could still do that.
Right, those I think I can correct.
Okay.
And blindfold.
A set of manacles?
Oh.
It's just precaution. I just feel like it's going to go
Might
tits
as
up
well.
really fast.
Might as well toss them on.
Yeah, add them to the pile.
Around your manacles are like a set that goes for like hands and ankles connected by a chain. So in addition to the rope that is already restraining Kendry, you also add in some manacles.
Okay.
Nice.
I'll say that just goes ahead and adds another 1 point to the DC to escape.
And maybe if, I mean, all I've got is potions, but if y'all have a way to maybe get her back up, but just barely, so that we just have to kind of whack her on the back of the head to put it back down if we need to.
I can do barely.
Okay.
I've got some good berries.
Is
Oh.
that
Perfect.
Yeah, we can just force feed her a good berry and she'll wake up, but she's not going to feel good.
Okay.
That's perfect.
That'll do it.
All right, should we read the plinth first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you could read that aloud, I could.
Can someone watch her?
Can we just drag over
I'll
there?
keep eyes on her.
Okay.
Also, I guess keep eyes out in case Kyrus comes back from wherever he went.
Right. I'm going to like move the chair out of the way that was next to where he was. Like, you know, just, this area is bad.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. If I like walk over closer to that area with blind sense, do I sense someone's there but just invisible?
No.
Could I?
I don't think he's in the room any longer.
If she banished him, he would come back after like a minute or so. How long have we been chatting?
Probably
like,
a minute.
Probably a
a
couple
minute.
minutes, huh?
Yeah.
I've got 12 on my timer over here. That includes announcements.
Seeing
What?
Cholula attempt to sense it, could I like walk over there and try to like tap into, like reaching into the mist a little bit?
Yeah, make an Arcana check. I would say your attachment to the mist is what allows you to make this check at all.
Oof. Uh, 13.
13. You're not sure. What happened to him didn't seem to be lethal, but he also does not appear to be coming back. At least not anytime soon.
Well, I'll just kind of like pull all the mist back in. Yep,
It like goes up into your sleeves.
I couldn't get him there.
This might be something that we just gotta figure out later. If there's a way to figure out where he is and how to get him back. But Silas, if you'll we should try this for now. I'm gonna put my hand on the dealio, as they call it.
I'm gonna.
You place the Helm of Comprehend Languages over your
I'm gonna
head.
Yeah.
just for good
Or
measure.
activate it. I don't think I ever took it off. Like you have to activate it, I think.
While the people who can go and like actually read the plinth,
Plinth?
Plinth.
Yeah. Monolith, obelisk.
Ah.
Choose pick your favorite.
Go over there and do that. I'm gonna hang out with Pippin near Kendry, just in case she starts trying to escape by magical means.
Okay. Worth noting, she is currently unconscious. Just, I would say, make a medicine check. Whoa.
18.
Nice. Yeah, Alma, you would be aware that like she's gonna be out for a couple hours, unless somebody feeds her that good berry.
Okay.
I'm just
I'm
going.
gonna stay nearby anyway. I feel
For sure.
suspect.
I'm gonna be speaking as I hear what Cholula says. If anyone wants to write something down,
All right.
I don't know if I can write at the same time.
All right. So, Cholula, you
Yeah.
begin to read.
Yeah.
As Silas translates. Actually, I'll just send you a picture, Taylor, and let you translate.
If when I go to touch this thing, is there still like a barrier between me and the thing? Like there was earlier? Like a little shield?
There is that faint, like glow still, but your hand touches the stone. It's smooth and glossy in most areas. The corners have weathered a bit over time. Bits have kind of crumbled away, but for the most part, it is a like perfectly pristine little pyramid.
Did I get the feeling that it
So sorry.
somehow
No
can
worries.
sense that I'm not attempting to harm it, and that's why the barrier is keeping me from touching it?
You get a sense that the barrier arose because it was going to take damage otherwise.
Okay.
It was like because you are present, most likely, that is what activated it and kept it safe from attacks. You see these other monoliths around it that were within the range of that Kesso explosion are like halves of prophecies have been removed.
Yeah.
It'd been really funny if I just destroyed the prophet.
Nobody gets to look at it.
It explodes. Howie disappears. I wake up on a beach.
Yeah.
Oh.
Reset.
Wouldn't that be fun? Then we do it all again. Somebody call Miranda.
Penultimate.
Penultimate.
The ultimate is just start over.
Sorry, this is taking me a second. Here we go. I found you. As Cholula is reading it, this is how you are hearing it as well. There is no punctuation. There are no like commas or periods that you can make out. It's just strings of sounds.
Okay.
Rivers reversed flow, evaporated into mist. The dried beds became cracked that sundered mountains. The sky tore open. Vile ink rained across the land. Hierarchies fell as the wounds of Kavora oozed. Molten blood kings became peasants as castle and cottage were swallowed alike. Again shall balance be restored to Kavora. Those adrift, once empty, reborn of rime and mist, shall be the weapons lost to time. When nations clash with weapons drawn, the black rain shall fall over deepest seas and heights of power. Kavora shall witness that which was promised before the severance, and in its ashes and Maya be born anew. And that was like, took every bit of my schooling to just not have punctuation while reading that. Could I send that to the group?
Mm-hmm.
Is that
Was there anything different?
that has some more than what we had before, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a bit more detailed. Based on my inflection, I probably wouldn't be able to get capitals off.
I would
right?
say that Cholula, you could
Okay.
you could notate when there was an emphasized word. As it translates to common, which would be like for us like Roman characters.
Yeah.
You can see that some of them are like capitalized, and you would be able to denote those.
Okay.
Hold up.
What is rhyme?
Rime is like the ice that kind of crawls along a window when it gets real cold. That's called rime.
Okay.
I presume like R-I-M-E.
Mm-hmm.
A rhyme is also when two words sound the same and end with the same kind of syllables,
Right.
like
That one's spelled
mom
different.
and dom. I don't know why those are the words I chose.
Mommy Dom.
We don't have to talk. There's one.
Almost sweating.
That's quite a prophecy, huh?
Is that
Boy,
one
anything
wizard's
else?
book that they were using over here?
Yes. So the book is nearby one of the wizard's bodies as he pulled it over to himself to use it to cast spells.
Mm-hmm.
Opening it up and kind of flicking through, there are most of the notation is in these like tricky glyphs. On some of the pages, the writing is actually in motion, and the characters are like mixing themselves up consistently. You get the sense that they're either make an Arcana check actually.
Okay.
Let's roll some dice. It's the dice game.
It's the dice game.
Happy dice game, everybody! Penultimate.
Oh, dirty 20.
Dirty 20, nice. Yeah, you get the sense that this is an encoded wizard's spell book, and there might be some notes in here on the translation, but they also seem to be encoded magically.
Okay. So this isn't like
It's not like a book you can just read.
yeah. And it's not just like because originally we were thinking that it was like a Hersham, like they were working out how to translate, but it's
That does seem to be part of it. That does seem to be what they were doing. But all of this is so jumbled and purposely confusing. Encrypted, yes.
okay. So I can't read it.
Correct.
Okay. Toss it over my shoulder.
Okay. It does not float this time. Just clatters to the ground behind you.
Okay. Well.
I'm gonna start checking bodies for stuff.
Yeah, make an investigation check. Is there any body in particular that you're checking?
All of them. I'm just gonna kind of like pull them together and start searching.
Okay.
For,
It'll probably take you the better part of like 15-20 minutes to
Yeah.
do so. Go for it.
Insight or
Investigation.
That's right. 14.
14. You find a number of archaeological tools on the two wizards.
I
You
keep that.
You find a specific. One of them has like a scrolled bit of paper that is sealed with a wax seal that has this glyph on it. That's like it's like 3 different stars overlapped, and like each is slightly more turned than the other, creating this much more complex looking
Can I have a pencil?
star-like shape.
Oh. Pencil.
left-hand side?
A scroll with a wax seal with multi-star kind of thing.
Yes. You also find altogether from all the bodies about 80 gold pieces worth of gold, platinum, and silver.
Nice.
And a dope-ass trident.
Oh, sorry, I like spaced out for a solid minute. You found a trident?
Yeah, it's the one that I guess this one was throwing.
I think it snapped back to her though.
Is there a bracelet that goes along with this trident, or any kind of indication?
No, make an Arcana check.
I was gonna throw it down to an empty part of the room. 15.
15. You get the sense that it is probably a magical weapon that requires some sort of attunement to have it come back to you. 15, you said?
Yeah.
I'd say you'd also be aware that in order to break someone's attunement on an item, you would either need to take the item far enough away from them, which is probably like, we're talking miles, in order for that to sever, or keep it far enough away from them for a long enough amount of time that their attunement would be broken, or if you attune the item, that would immediately break their attunement.
It takes 3 hours or something to attune?
It takes 1 hour to
1
attune to a single item, but you can do up to 3 items on a long rest.
Someone should maybe get to know this in case that one wakes up and does something with it, right?
Well, I mean, as long as, I don't know if it works like my sword or anything, but if she can't hold it because her hands are tied up, then it'll probably just drop to her side or something.
There's a pretty good chance we'll have to kill this one anyway. I don't want to.
It could go either way.
Yeah. We good on waking them up?
I think so.
All right, here's the berry. I'll give it to you, Alma.
I'm gonna
Pinch your cheeks, throw it in, and then just mush, mush, mush.
Yeah, her fish lips open, her fish teeth chew a berry. Pete comes over, he's like, oh, you gotta rub the throat too, make sure they swallow.
Kind of like bop her on the head.
watch the nose.
That's fucked.
Yeah, no, it's bad.
What happened?
I don't know. It was them. The
The eyelids raise slowly, kind of like bleary and blinking, as you see the rather large yellow eyes with the slitted pupil kind of glancing around at all of you. Ah, good morning.
Is it morning?
I don't think so.
No.
It's for me.
Oh.
So, Kendry,
If that is your real name.
It is.
what's with all the shit?
I'm kidding, I don't.
Can you be more specific?
I mean, like, last time I talked to you, you seemed all about us doing some things and you lied to us, and then there's this prophecy, and you and Horace aren't together, and what do you want with us? I guess is my question.
Well, we had to part ways. I'm certain that you came here probably with some sort of means to decipher the wording of the prophecy.
Why is it a problem that we know the prophecy?
We were hoping that you'd just take our word for it.
Okay. What's in this scroll? Stars here?
Oh, that's from the Celestia Arcanum. Probably some sort of spell enclosed in there.
Are they lying?
Make an insight check.
What is your purpose in lying to us about what the prophecy actually is?
We were hoping to get you to where you're supposed to be. We were hoping to get you to push events along to where they're supposed to where you're supposed to. But, even despite our best efforts, we've had to step things up a bit of our own volition.
Grimdall. So,
What'd you roll on insight?
14.
14. It's odd. She's very hard to read just by the nature of her strange Triton appearance. But at the same time, she doesn't appear to be lying to you. Seems tricky.
I'll toss it to Alma. Be careful opening it. The
Is this the book?
scroll.
Scroll?
Scroll.
I'll do my best.
Yeah, make an Arcana check.
Can I open it in front of me and Howie?
Make an Arcana check first
Okay.
before you open it.
Oh.
so
17.
17. This is a spell scroll.
Oh!
This is like basically a one-time use spell.
Is there any way of figuring out what the spell is?
You'd probably have to take a short or long rest to kind of look into it.
Okay, I'm gonna. Howie? This seems far more your domain than it is mine.
Okay. Yeah.
So, you want us to enact the. What do you get out of if we were to cause nations to clash by killing Brimlock or whatever?
Right.
What do you get out of it?
Well, nations clash with weapons drawn. Kavora will see what was promised of the severance, and in
Which
its ashes
is?
be born anew. We want to start over.
Oh. Start over what?
Are they even prophecies if you're making them come true? Are you not playing into the prophecies?
She kind of leans in towards you, Cholula, fully ignoring you, Silas, and she just says, everything.
But that wouldn't include you.
Perhaps not. Perhaps it would.
Who are you working for?
We work together as one.
Just you and Horace?
Oh, we are many.
The Black Rain, do you know anything about them?
Most things.
What is the weapon?
That's not for you to know.
Yeah, but you could die right here, and you could miss your big restart.
Certainly. But you wouldn't die here.
Okay.
It's to be around to take your part.
That's the point.
And our part is what?
To be there.
To be there. Everyone always speaks in fucking code in these things, right?
Speaking
It's
of
like,
which,
oh,
did you crack the code?
On the prophecy.
Yeah.
Not entirely. We've only got bits and pieces, but we've got expert interpreters who have made some very convincing guesses.
The ones that we smeared all over the floor back there?
Oh, no. They were just on loan from Celestia Arcanum.
What?
we were defending ourselves.
Yeah.
Where's Horace? Is he still in Grimdall?
Oh, I would bet he's probably on the seas by now. Once again.
When is
So you
all
wanna-
of this supposed to occur?
That's the tricky part. The when. When nations clash.
War is inevitable. This is the most boring prophecy there ever was. Nations, of course, are going to build their economies in a way that they seek out one another for war. That's like lying in a road and saying a cart's going to run me over. That's nothing.
Sure.
I'm going to pull Alma aside, like behind one of these other pillar things. Can you reach out to Rashmi and get her people here? To reclaim this area, to reclaim these pillars?
I don't think it's a good idea to invite innocents here until we know that nobody else is going to come here and slaughter them.
It's not a bad idea, though, right?
How long was I out?
Not long.
But 2 days,
Clearly hasn't been 2 days.
clearly.
Alright, so y'all over here or y'all somewhere else?
Did she seem...
Yeah,
She's
well,
kind of like calling across to them.
Okay.
Was there even a moment where there was a flicker of her wondering if it had been 2 days, and did that concern her?
Make an insight check.
Thank you.
So there's somewhere that
18.
you think we're supposed to be, but you won't tell us where we're supposed to be. Because I'm assuming it's not at Fort Hornwood anymore because you decided to go to Grimdall instead.
Right. I have a feeling, regardless of what I want, you'll be where you're supposed to be when the time is right.
Oh my god.
Alma. Excuse me. She, there was no doubt in her mind. It had not been that long.
Well,
It's going to take.
I guess really we only have one choice then to prevent all of this. And that is that we just end it all right here. Unless somebody wanted to start speaking straight to us and tell us what's actually going on, because as much as I hate to say it, we could just...
End it all. What? End yourselves?
Sure.
You do that.
Why not?
We could.
Go ahead then.
Well, you would go first, of course.
Yeah, we're not gonna leave
A
you
bit
here.
of joy.
Sure. Whatever you've got to do.
You
I don't
guys are
think-
going to have to continue to keep me from killing this one. There's
mean,
no reason for keeping
Can I
me.
use
There's nothing.
prestidigitation to make it look like I have a big spell in my hand?
Make a deception check.
Ooh. That is a natural 20. That is a natural
Nat
20.
20, baby!
Do you see it? Do you see it?
And my dick.
Actually, it's my dick. Thank you.
That was not Silas.
So, you just rolled a nat 20
Making it
deception
25.
check for a total of 25. She gets +9 to insight.
She has to roll. She only has to get to a 14.
Yeah,
Wouldn't it have to be
Still a nat
more
20.
because it's
that's true. It was a nat 20. Based on the rules that we play by, for those of you getting mad because this is an ability check.
Oh, 16. She has to roll 16.
She has to roll a nat 20. Because we honor crits at this table. It's a natural 20.
No.
It's on the screen.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Wow.
pull it over without moving it. Those are 2 Fs, baby.
Honestly,
It's
Silas,
like you take all of my
I don't see
successes.
that.
Hey, this is why
That's some luck right there.
this is why I wanted to make Taylor go do annoying things so we could have this.
So you could get your loaded die.
'Cause I had a
roll it
feeling.
in front of the camera.
He makes the dice, you know.
6, 18,
Yeah.
11.
You'll have to remind me to fix
Alma
the
actually
map for
does
tomorrow.
just end it.
Because I don't know how to get that back anymore.
Maybe this is the ultimate episode. The Mistwalkers. And then they offed themselves.
So mad.
All right. Alma, you begin using prestidigitation to make these like showers of sparks between your hands as if you're going to cast this damaging spell. And she kind of just like leans back and smiles and waits. You're not sure if it's because she sees through your deception or if it's because she is that ready to die for this cause.
Let's kill and go. This is wasting time where we could be fulfilling the prophecy or whatever the fuck it is. I like crumple up that paper that we had that had the prophecy on it. It's like, what is it then? Like if we're going to fall into fate, if no matter what we do it happens, why don't we just act then? If they're not going to give us any answers or allow us to choose whether or not we want to do it or how we want to, why don't we just kill them and continue our lives falling into fate? If it's just a roll of the dice, why don't we just go do it then?
I mean, I definitely think we should kill her.
I would feel better, personally.
You should do it.
I'm leaving it to the group. I'm gonna like pull up a chair and sit
I
down.
vote Silas kills Kendry.
Do you think it's smart to leave a body? Do you think they can bring her back?
I've got a bag.
There'd be no point in bringing me back. Rolling on soon.
More coded speech.
What's
Are we all
coded?
voting, or is it just Chalula and Alma?
What if I said that's coded? I've been nothing but honest to you.
You haven't said anything, really.
There's been like a paragraph left before I do it. So
Ask me anything you want to know, and I will answer. No shade.
What is
no
going to cause
tricks.
the end?
You are.
How?
When nations clash with weapons drawn.
That doesn't
Weapons.
mean anything. What is the weapon?
You are.
So we don't fight.
yeah, that's easy.
And watch your friends die.
We don't have to watch
By
them.
what means if we don't do anything?
What do you mean?
If we just all sat here and did nothing for the next however long it takes.
So if we don't fight and everyone dies, then it's the same thing as a reset.
Danger is coming over deepest seas and heights of power. You can sit back and do nothing. Would you sacrifice all that you hold dear to save everyone else?
What is coming from where?
Horus is coming. From the south.
And he is special because.
Because a country, I'd wager by now 2 countries, follow behind him.
For what reason?
So if we kill Horus, we fulfill the prophecy?
If you kill Horus before he meets his destination, perhaps. But in this particular instance, I don't think cutting off the head of the snake is necessarily going to stop the body from thrashing. Things have been set in motion.
Well, we should just kill him.
I'm gonna.
Did you find? Were there other emphasized words on these other ones?
I think these other ones are completed already.
We haven't troubled ourselves with the others. Most of them are too damaged to gain anything from at this point. Not worth the trouble it would be to translate them.
Probably
If this
not
is all
something
going to
else,
happen
too.
anyway, why even bother us?
Yeah.
We thought we could move things along.
You thought you could move things along. You were wrong.
It seems we were
You
correct.
You can't play fate.
Well, things are already in motion. We had plans and backup plans beyond that,
How do you accelerate something that's already written?
because there is no time written. We choose the time.
This is a long paragraph.
Still feel like she's not helping.
Does anybody else need anything from this person?
I don't think so. Just Horus, I guess. Like, I guess that
No.
seems to be a thing.
Alma,
Do you need anything else from this person?
you hear a familiar voice in your mind of Renair Neverember. You'll have 4 words to respond. Just keep that in mind.
Send help.
Waterdeep requests Miss Walker's aid. Reports of allied forces of Mr. and Grimdall en route. King Grimdall confirmed dead. Now King Alistair Zephyrus Grimdall the Ninth spotted with Dragonstaff of Agaron. Draconic army inbound from south. Lady Genevieve and Duvet family in city. Clash imminent. Please make haste. Alma, you hear this. And only you hear this.
They're headed to Waterdeep.
Do it.
Right. I'm
A-
gonna stab this one.
Okay, yeah. She smiles and dies.
Cool.
Right.
She goes to open her mouth to say one more thing and just blood comes out.
I just really didn't want that one to be like, see. Yes, I'm sorry.
She's a
I don't
waste.
know if we were going to like talk anymore. I couldn't. I do feel a little better. What's
Genevieve
happening?
and your family are in the city. Mr. and Grimdall have joined forces and are on their way to Waterdeep now.
Then we go and stop them.
Because they think that that Windfell killed the Grimdall guy.
Seems that way.
Doesn't matter, does it?
Hey, this is kind of a big deal, you guys. I didn't want to, harsh your mellow with the murdering the fish lady. The Dragonstaff of Agaron is really important.
Isn't that what Aranax had?
Yeah, it's been missing for a really... You guys know about this? It's been missing for a really long time.
Aranax went to Grimdall. It's not Aranax that's the dragon, is it?
It's a draconic army headed to Windfell right now.
So, Agaron is the founder of Waterdeep. He's the guy who was like, we should have a city here. This seems nice. Most people say that's a pretty good idea. I'm going to move this along. he had this special staff, Staff of Agaron, the Dragon Staff of Agaron. It set up a perimeter around the city, sort of safe measure. Dragons cannot enter the city of Waterdeep unless that staff touches them. If somebody we don't like has that staff... Oh shit, I'm sorry. I'm jumping the gun. Pete didn't hear any of that. Did you relay your message from
think so.
Renair?
The pieces that I said out loud.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember what they were, because I read the message.
It wasn't that.
Would you relay the message?
Sure. Yes.
My bad. That's totally my fault.
It's
Penultimate
okay.
episode, I'm gonna fuck up a lot. Thanks for watching. So that's the deal.
So what?
So the staff already wasn't keeping that boundary around Waterdeep.
Oh no, the boundary is still there. Only dragons that are touched by the staff can get through that boundary. So if somebody's leading an army of dragons and they have that staff, Waterdeep is absolutely fucked, y'all.
Can I try to reach out to Oranax?
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast sending. I will say everything out loud as I say it and receive it.
Okay.
Do you have your word counter?
Hmm?
Where are you right now?
There's no response.
Can I feel that it went through?
Roll. Roll a D100.
Where's my other fucking thing? 82.
82. Yeah, you feel a pressure, like the person that you're trying to contact is not on this plane, and the message doesn't go through.
Wherever Oranax is, he's not here.
So our choices are tell Renee to get everyone evacuated and hope that they don't die and not fight, or do whatever this little shit wants us to do.
At best, evacuating everybody from Waterdeep further north will buy us some more time.
How long does it take to evacuate Waterdeep?
Forever.
I can ask.
And there's certain to be some people who have spent their entire lives there and they're going to refuse to leave either way.
Yeah.
He can do his best.
I got potions.
Sounds like we should go. It's not ideal, but it sounds like everything's been made plain for us, right? It's all written down. We can
There
watch
are
everything we
some
love.
other options. It sounds like all of this hinges on you fighting.
Yeah.
If you just get your loved ones out of the city and don't raise your hands against the enemy, prophecy doesn't come true, right?
My loved ones wouldn't. I don't think they would allow me, if I can speak for you, to let an entire city die just to get them out.
Feels wrong.
I think that might be what she was talking about. Motions towards the dead fish lady.
Yeah, well.
So very much a trolley problem, huh? You guys know what trolleys are?
Yep.
Yeah, I think I've seen a drawing of one somewhere.
In Waterdeep, they call it the mega cart problem.
What? Well, I think the decision has been made. It's just whether or not everyone else is going to go.
Why don't they all go into the sewers? It's not great.
I don't know much, but I know that dragonfire can melt stone. That would be as much of a death sentence as staying in their homes, I imagine.
So it's an army of dragons?
A draconic army.
Why are they working together?
When I reach into the mist, what am I aware of when I do that?
Almost nothing. There is an emptiness, and by the very nature of the mist itself, you can feel that it is obscuring things from your grasp.
Do I get a sense of, let's say, an old man, little boy?
Can you be more specific?
He seems to be the ruler of that particular domain.
Oh, Ivan.
Yes. Do I get a sense? Do I sense Ivan when I do this?
Make an Arcana check.
I don't know why I check. I know it's like one of my lowest fucking plus. Even if I got a nat 20, it still could be no. A resounding no. 18.
18.
It's not bad.
I'm going to say on an 18, you get no trace of Borka. But on no trace of Borka, you remember what was happening when you left. It's possible that Borka is no longer able to be felt within the mists because it might not be in the mists anymore.
I thought I could maybe reach out to potential allies.
Do you know yet how to mist yourself? The way that you did to get us all to Demontliu?
Yes, but I think it was specific to that area. I could try. Everything is just kind of trial and error with this thing now. What would you like for me to do?
I mean, the way that we came back many years later, I think traveling through the mists might not be the best option right now. I mean, maybe we just go to Waterdeep.
Well,
we
I mean,
talk to Renee and
if we could go to Waterdeep and then
move the city.
to Demontliu.
Like, missed everyone out of there?
You missed that whole place. You missed all over everything.
Well, I mean, Gold Run has beat us to that. With the piss.
With the piss,
Yeah,
yeah.
the piss.
Is there anything else, like, written in the room anywhere? Anything of interest aside from, like, the obelisk things?
Make an investigation check.
Okay. I didn't respond to Renair. I'm gonna reach out to Genevieve and I'll tell her to take the duvets, get out, and try to tell Renair to do his best to evacuate the city for now to the north.
Sure. We still need to make a plan to get there and to rest, if that's even allowed.
I can get us there.
When you speak to Renee, is there an estimated time of arrival for this force?
Okay, I'll message Renair and then I'll message Genevieve.
Are you gonna be able to get us back over there after that?
I can get us over there. After that,
It's not gonna like hurt, is it?
not you.
Is it gonna hurt you?
A little bit. A lot of
Find
it.
out how much time we have and we can
Great,
rest.
great.
You can rest.
I will cast Sending to Renair.
Okay. You do so.
How much time do we have?
Best estimate, 3 days.
That's good news. Can you evacuate the city?
We are already taking measures.
Great.
The people here are stubborn. Many will refuse the order.
We can be there tomorrow.
Excellent. We shall see you then. Thank you, Mistwalkers. And that's all the words.
I parroted all of this.
Joy. He said thank you, so
16 on investigation.
16. No, you notice that each of the obelisks has a slightly like rectangular base to it that has like glyphs isn't the right term, reliefs carved into it. They're pretty rudimentary, but you don't see any other like writing or anything of that nature.
Okay.
well, we should get some
So-
rest and move, right?
Been trying to figure out this code, but it's not very easy. At first, I did like the first letter for like all these words are like emphasized. It didn't make any sense. But if you take the words, then we have like that other tablet which has some words on it that are emphasized. I don't know how it all fits together. But in order, they say adrift, once empty rhyme, missed weapons, weapon severance. So I don't know if there needs to be other words in there that we're missing, or amidst once empty rhyme, missed weapons, weapon severance.
Maybe they're like proper nouns. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Kendry said that you guys were the weapons.
I don't much care for this prophecy. Right? I spent years trying to find out what the past was, what my past was, and then I get here and I'm being told what my future is. Fuck that.
Yeah.
We defend Waterdeep, yes?
I think if we do that, then it's true.
Pippin's kind of like looking over the scrawled translation that you guys have kind of written out. Just like looking over Howie's shoulder, kind of like places his hand on it. I mean, we're still missing some pretty important pieces of information, and there's a lot to be interpreted here. Kavora shall witness that which was promised before the severance. Not what was promised of the severance, what was promised before the severance. What was promised before the severance? Who the fuck knows? And in its ashes and mire be born anew. Does that mean Kavora will be born anew? The promise could be born anew? We don't know that this outcome necessarily means if you fight, Kavora dies, you know? Hell, for all we know, it could still be talking about the Black Rain being what falls, in terms of like, Order of the Black Rain, they fall, because you fought.
What I know is there are dragons headed towards my friends and family and a city of innocence. The end. I've been told that that's what's happening.
I'm with you.
That's
My
it. That's
family's
all
there
I
as
care
well.
to know. These things can say whatever they want. All of these monoliths can say whatever they want. They were written forever ago, or in the future, or in the past. Who cares? We found out that there are an army of dragons moving towards innocence. What is the pause? There wasn't any pause in the cold place. What are they in?
Children?
Children, yes. There wasn't any pause there. We saw injustice and we dealt with it.
Sounds to me like you guys have about 3 days to call in every favor you got.
All right.
I
who
take
do
it
we
you've made
have?
some interesting friends in your travels.
I
Reach
checked on
into
Ivan. I don't think he's there anymore.
I'm gonna reach into my bag of holding and pull out a sending stone.
Yeah?
Hey, are you there?
Who is it?
To the guy that we met in Grimdall before we went to Borka.
Ah. Yeah, hang
The
on.
haunted house guy?
Give me
think there's
just a
one
second.
guy.
It's gonna take longer. It's gonna take longer than 3 days for the giants to reach Waterdeep. Well, they owe us one. There's a shit-covered heart in the middle of that city that says that they owe us one.
It's been de-shitted.
If we can get Renair to reach out to Brimlock, they could make it in time.
Also, you've got 3 days. You know one person who can take people over long distances. You know anybody else who can do stuff like that?
Valdwin might be too busy for us mere mortals.
I don't think he's in Mistinol. He's got to know what's going on. I'm just trying to think if there's a way for us to win without fighting. If that makes sense. But if we use our words, are those still considered weapons? You know? Fucking
Just our presence being there, will that fulfill this prophecy?
If we can get there tonight, we might be able to help evacuate the city in time so that at least it's empty.
I said they're stubborn. It's a big city.
But it's not like when the army gets there and the city's empty, they're just gonna stop.
No, but it gives us some time to delay, maybe.
Yeah. Or maybe if we're the only ones there.
Is the last obelisk in perfect shape?
The one that you're standing at?
Yeah.
Not perfect, no. There are, like, edges. It looks as it does here. It's this one. So, like, there are some chips out of one side. The corners are kind of weathered a bit. But it is definitely the most
Does it look like
complete.
any of the text or anything is like missing from it?
Make an investigation check.
16.
16. No, it doesn't look like any of the text was affected.
Lord Fritz Witherby?
Lord Fritz Willoughby!
God damn your notes.
Yeah, he responds. Oh, hello. Is this Cholula Duvet?
It is.
Wonderful. How are you?
Well, I've been better. Are you still in Grimdall?
Yes, the Folgenshire.
Does Sending Stone have a limit on words?
Yes, it's the same as sending 50.
Okay.
We're at 17 currently.
What do you know about the attack on Waterdeep?
I know that the new king of Grimdall has malice in his heart. I don't agree with him or his views. Yeah, 3 words.
Talk to you tomorrow.
You get talk to you.
Okay.
Okay.
All I got was that New King's bad guy.
I can reach out to Veldman and see what he knows about Mistinor.
Okay. Should we go ahead and get to Waterdeep?
I can get us there tonight and we can rest, and if Howie can make a chunky shake in the morning, we'll be good.
Okay. Do we
No
want to
chunky
do
shake,
anything?
shake in the morning?
I can.
Is it hard?
It's,
Is it really hard to make? Oh, it's so hard to make a chunky shake.
I can make one.
We would still have another day before the bad thing happens.
Okay. Then what's the rush on?
Well,
Oh,
we
because
have-
we want to get there.
We're trying to figure out what's
faster.
happening.
Yeah. Okay. I can do that.
Pete, staying,
Yeah? What?
coming.
Yeah, whatever. What the fuck? I'll fight some dragons
what
with
do
you.
you want to do?
I'll come hang out. I like Waterdeep. People there are mostly nice. I had
Okay.
a shop there for a really long time. A lot of purple stuff. It was good.
It's still there?
It won't be for long, apparently.
I mean, what do y'all think about this one? The fish lady. Do we leave it here?
If you cut off her head or like crush it or something, they won't be able to bring her back unless it's like a big pain for them.
No, they still could.
It'll be a big pain though.
I mean, we could just cut off her head and take. No, that'll still grow back.
How about this? I'm gonna take, like, out of her shirt, there's like a little black cloth, and then next to Kendry, I'm gonna start spreading it out, and it's like a 6-foot circle, and I'm gonna kick her in, and then I'm gonna fold it back up.
Yeah. Use one of your 2 portable holes for the first time ever.
Yeah.
What?
Penultimate.
Yeah.
Reach into those inventories and pull out whatever you got.
I was
Hell
thinking,
yeah.
actually, since we do have 2 of these, you know, as a last resort sort of effort,
Oh, you just pop one inside the other.
if we put them together, everybody within like 10 feet gets sucked into the astral plane and it closes and they can't reopen the gate. So both of them, the holes will be destroyed, but the people that we fight at this point, I think you can't trap them unless they're already dead. So just throwing it out there.
Yeah, it should be said also, like, Waterdeep has some dope-ass defenses. There's like 6 giant-ass statues that'll fight to defend the city. But I don't know what we're talking coming over the seas.
Yeah.
It seems like the more help, the better. As far as I can tell.
All right. I think we should just go now. We have some time before it'll be a problem.
Yeah, I think the longer we have to speak with Renee also. But we're not gonna take the help of Genevieve and my siblings.
I feel like they've got every right to choose for themselves, right?
Okay.
Sure. I was only going to send them away if we couldn't make it.
Okay. Alright.
7 times 5 is 35.
Yes. You're calculating your damage.
Yeah. Oh, I could have done that. I'm stupid. That's not what I wanted. I needed to know how much that's going to take off the top.
Ah.
Alrighty. So minus 35. Alrighty. Not that bad. I'm probably just bleeding from like the eyes and nose, but not the mouth.
Okay.
Because I still have 62 hit points left, and that brought me from 170 max to 135. So like,
Not terrible.
could be worse.
Could be worse.
I will open up our teleportation portal to what is the most familiar place to me in Waterdeep?
I would.
Didn't we have
Guess.
dinner with Renee?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would
we
guess
stayed
either.
at Renee's place.
Yeah, I'm gonna teleport us to the room that I stayed in at Renair's.
Okay.
The palace.
The palace.
Renee's house.
You know, his house. My buddy's house.
Castle Waterdeep. Maybe you've heard of it.
You know, Pete, I don't know if anyone's ever said this to you, but you're generally pretty good.
Hey, thanks.
How long have you been alive?
Oh, too long.
Well,
But hey, maybe that'll change soon.
Doubt it.
At least 3 more days. I'm gonna say you've seen this room casually because you've been there once.
okay.
So go ahead and roll a D100 as you cast teleport once again on the Mistwalkers.
Roll high. 60.
Nice.
Was
Right
that the
on.
number?
Right on target.
54 to 100 is right on target.
So as you all once again step through Alma's teleportation spell and find yourselves in that breathless space, we're gonna go to a quick break. And we'll be back to continue these penultimate shenanigans
Ultimate.
in 10 minutes. Don't go away.
Ultimate.
Peen.
The line of monstrous bandits advance towards you. You hear creaking coming from the woods, when suddenly, belching out from the forest, the dire tree. You're up first.
I cast Fireball.
That's all of them. Roll damage.
All sixes.
Booyah!
All right, you're next.
I cast Cone of Cold. It says AD8 right here. 64 points of damage.
I cast lightning bolt.
That's all right with me.
You just did that.
Radiates this like golden energy, and I cast shield.
He looks down in sorrow and then turns a fiery gaze to the rest of you. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode.
You mother.
I'm Cork.
Nice.
Cool.
Give him the official herald salute, Arcana crew.
Was that gonna be the answer no matter what?
Yes.
Okay.
And very quickly, my head just turns. It's almost like someone called me, and I look back at you and I give you one last wave and one little sad look before blowing you a kiss and waving goodbye.
She goes, hot damn, mama. And I'm gonna slap her on the ass, and then I'm gonna whip around behind.
We have an unboxing to do. This was sent to us by a wonderful viewer of the show who's been with us from the very beginning, I believe.
Yeah.
In this package, there are gifts for all of you, as well as candy to share.
I already prepped.
Okay.
Whoa!
Hooray.
The end of it now, you're coming to the other side. I need everybody to make one more constitution. And makes it over to this pillar.
Also, Cameron, this map looks amazing.
Right?
If I can throw that out.
Built it with my own two hands.
What about that other hand? What was it?
It watched. Stay safe out there, adventurers.
Listen, I can only catch the.
Welcome back. We return as the Mistwalkers find themselves once again apparating within Castle Waterdeep. You find yourselves in a nice little guest room. You arrive safely, unharmed.
Yay.
I just kind of like smear some blood off. Okay. That could have been worse.
Oh shit, this is the castle.
Yeah.
Should we let them know we're here?
I'm gonna open the door. I'm just gonna shout down the hallway, Renair, we got here early!
Make a luck check.
Notoriously good at these. 10?
10. Exactly middle of the road. I'm going to say Renair is not present to hear you in this area, but also neither are any castle guards who would be very jumpy in this instance.
I'm just gonna like stomp out of a room and head towards any kind of main quarters, or if there's like a war room or anything of that nature.
I'm gonna follow using Silas as a shield.
Okay. I'd say that you are not intimately familiar with the layout of this castle, but you were here recently and you know your way back to the throne room.
Yeah.
So, does everyone follow?
Yeah.
All right. Pippin and Pete follow as well. As you're on your way, Pete's just like, man, we just totally left that Harshan girl hanging, huh? That's pretty fucked up. Bigger things, bigger problems.
Once we deal
can
with
go
this,
back.
we can both reach out to her and let her know that her husband is missing. Perhaps dead.
But maybe the world ends and it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, bigger fish, right?
But if we send them to the temple right now and more black rain appear to take over it, they're gonna get slaughtered.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, perspective.
Yeah. Oh, we're here. There are 6 guards standing across the entryway to the throne room who initially kind of like cross their glaives, but then recognize the Mistwalkers and part for you. As stepping in, you see Renair is standing at the head of that long table. His crown has actually been like removed and set to the side as he's kind of like looking over it. They seem to have set up like a makeshift war room in this particular space. Genevieve is also here.
Genevieve is also here.
And cutting an odd figure in the room as well is Cherry Duvet, who is kind of sitting across the table with legs kicked up and is still kind of like whittling away and looking at the map that's been laid out. It's a map of the city.
Yeah, she's down for war.
She's super down for war.
She's down for war.
Hey, bud. Tomorrow we met immediately. What's up?
Mistwalkers, thank the gods you've arrived.
Well,
We don't know how helpful we're gonna be here. Maybe we might make things worse.
What defenses do you have set for any kind of attack like this? And is the Black Staff around?
Yes, the Black Staff is en route. She'll be here shortly to convene. We have Force Grey, the faction that works directly under the Black Staff. They are heading up the evacuation of the city. Those who we can't force anyone out of their homes, but those who are willing to leave and pack up. So many things.
Yeah, fine. I have a couple more questions once you get your head straight.
Of course. Firstly, I'll just run you through what I've got. Maybe it'll answer some of your questions. King Alistair Zephyrus Grimdall VIII was assassinated, ceding power to his heir, Alistair Zephyrus Grimdall IX. I suspect that this is related to the recent rise of High King Thaddeus Rakis to power in Mistinor, as the newly appointed King Grimdall's first rule of order was forming an alliance with the unified nations of Mistinor. Forces gathered at the recently reclaimed Isles south of Mistinor, where we presumed this was expectation of an assault or a reclamation of the Isles by Grimdallian forces. However, the islands serve as a rendezvous point for the combination of the allied armies. I was receiving this information from a Harper agent in the area by Farquill, perhaps you're familiar, And he motions at the thing that Valdwin gave to you. But the last thing that she had reported was this, and he produces a sheet of parchment, which I unfortunately do not have on me.
Oh, like a physical.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
It has a drawing of a staff. It's all like very hastily sketched. Drawing of a staff that sort of like has this double helix, and then two winged creatures facing each other. This is the dragon staff of Arcanarama. The words invasion confirmed and the majority of the word evacuate, and then it cuts off. I presume she was either discovered, killed, or both as she was sending the message. Since this document's arrival, there have been reports from a number of islands in the seas and harbor agents that we have in the area of dragons, dragon riders, and a naval fleet traveling across the Sea of Squalls from the southwest en route for the Gulf of Windfell. If Waterdeep falls to Grimdalian to dragon attacks, Grimdalian forces and Misternorian forces will be centrally located within the continent, cutting off a major trade port and setting them up to potentially conquer all of Windfell in a matter of months, perhaps even less. We're currently evacuating citizens towards the Galen Mountains, eventually to Chilrun and Strandwick, the cities furthest from harm's reach at the moment, though our assailants are winged and there's no guarantee that Waterdeep is their only target.
Do you have reinforcements coming from Children, Genevieve?
Genevieve speaks up. Yes, we have a number of giant forces as well as City Guard of Chilrun, all that we can spare, have already boarded ships in Dark Pines and will be making port in Waterdeep midday on the morrow.
And what about Fort Hornwood? They had been already gathering forces, correct?
Yes, Renair cuts back in. Fort Hornwood, they're sending a small cavalry of soldiers as reinforcements, but again, we don't know exactly where this attack is going to land, so the majority of their forces will be staying at Fort Hornwood, as it is the gateway to western Windfell, as it were. It's the main line of defense for Strandwick to the north and the Manglewood Swamp to the south as well.
What do you have by way of navy for Waterdeep?
I'm sorry?
Navy? Do you have anything?
Yes, we have a small fleet of ships that we've already stationed. I was going to say you might have seen them, but I don't know quite where you've arrived. They're already, I see. They're already stationed off the shore within the Gulf. We've set up a defensive line. We don't have kind of like looks around the room. There's like a number of guards standing by. Everybody in the room, by the way, is like incredibly tense. There's a lot of people sweating.
I'll like stop him. Could everyone leave, please? Everyone who's not prudent to this particular conversation.
I was gonna ask.
As you say that, René raises a hand. He's like, please, do as he says. The majority of the guards shuffle out, and
Is there anybody here? Seems off. Like, there. Do we have any snakes in the grass?
make an insight check.
I would like to take the, like, where we've written down the prophecy and put that on the table and then, like, kind of slide it to, like, and then I'm going to also set up the far quill that I have that goes to Baldwin and just see if he's available currently.
Okay.
We don't really have a lot of time. We can't really be passing words with guards in the room.
Of course, of course.
28.
28. I mean, Cherry is as trustworthy as she has always seemed.
I don't think Cherry cares enough to align to a nation. It seems very antithetical
Yeah, that's fair.
to her vibe.
Currently, no.
Okay.
But as the room is cleared, the only people left within it are you, the Mistwalkers, Renair, Genevieve, Cherry, and that's it. If we're being honest, our naval forces, we're mostly a merchant town. Trade port, as it were. Our naval fleet is not the strongest, and if our enemies are riding dragons, that's more of just an obstacle for them that might slow their approach.
How was the staff made in the first place?
I have no idea. If there are...
Are there any master enchanters in town?
He looks over at Pete.
I will also look at Pete.
There's at least one, baby!
Can we replicate it?
Oh, I mean, yes, but
Right.
the problem is the materials that would be required in something of that magnitude would be few and far between. It would be there'd be like 3 fetch quests you'd have to go on to get that
Right.
shit in the first place.
That
and
doesn't
then,
feel penultimate.
and then also, by the nature of the staff does not banish dragons from entering. The staff allows dragons to enter.
Is there?
So you're
staff
talking
that
about
can
like
banish them
you're talking
instead?
like a counter enchantment. You're talking
Yeah.
like a dragon staff of reverse Agaron or whatever.
Yeah.
That's more complicated
Sure.
because if I were going to make it perfect, I'd really need the staff itself to be able to do so. Otherwise, it's just guesswork. You'd be better off probably, I don't know, imbuing something with like some sort of banishment spell and just going around to all the dragons you can see and trying to banish them. But those are hardy fuckers, so.
If we call in all of our favors, then the problem is that we leave other areas of Winfell exposed if they do go right past us.
Your Farquill lifts itself up.
Tight.
I'm gonna pass that prophecy thing to Renair.
What's this?
What we've gathered from some monolith that said this was already gonna happen.
Surprise!
found it.
It's the Black Rain. Woo! And Horus is the one that went and did the whole assassination and
He's
is
probably a dragon.
bringing everybody. And bad news is they're expecting us to fight, and that's supposed to fulfill the prophecy that they're after.
And if we don't fight, the city gets destroyed. And if we do fight, the city gets destroyed and we die.
Right.
I'll tell them about like Kimberly and that whole situation, and
I can't imagine if we don't fight, the dragons are going to be like, oh, they're not fighting. We should. They seem to be pretty nice.
we should turn around.
Oh shit.
We don't know what kind of dragons, do we?
No.
I am an absolute fool, aren't I?
Why?
Horus. Zephyrus. Is it that on the nose? King Alistair Zephyrus Grimdall. Horus, most likely, I presume, would be the Prince of Grimdall. I've heard that he was.
They call him the Falcon.
I've
amongst
heard
themselves.
that he was devil touched. I've never actually met the bloke
What
myself.
does that mean?
What is devil
Ew.
touch?
Tiefling.
Got it.
A tiefling
That
born to
seems-
human parents.
Oh.
Borderline offensive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's, I'm a little upset.
Sorry. He was born to human parents and has green skin and horns.
No, right, that's not the part. It's more like,
I think it was the context. It
yeah.
was kind of the way it rolled into the sentence. That's not what you meant. But
I think we have bigger problems at the moment.
Right.
yeah,
For now. We'll talk about it if we live.
yeah.
I'm gonna write, like, while we're talking, I assume you've heard of the invasion that's happening at
Valdwin responds, yes. And basically in longer form than I will say, Valdwin goes on to explain that there are still those who are resisting the rule of High King Thaddeus Raucus. However, there are a number of people who have joined up with him.
apparently a number of the Silver Stake who were captured alive from Altanan were granted amnesty if they promised to fight alongside him for his army. They actually attempted to raid Wiltbloom to get into Valdwin's vault to get at the items that he had stored there, but they were fended off, and Valdwin has basically been cleaning up after that, trying to like pick up the pieces, as it were.
Okay. Is there?
He also says that, or rather, he asks for news of what's going on.
Okay. I'm gonna tell him basically that they're dragon riders, combined forces of Grimdall and Mistnor headed to Waterdeep. We have about 3 days. If there's any way that he can gather as many resistance troops as possible and get them to Waterdeep, that would be great.
He writes, 3 days? With a question mark.
2, ideally.
As soon as you can, though.
I can.
There's a brief pause as you kind of like wait for a response. You can see that the pen is being held, kind of like taps a little bit, waves around. You get the sense he's like having a conversation with someone.
Yeah.
Before it
Who is
returns.
it?
Before it returns.
His lover.
Before it
Why
returns
is the
to the
pen
parchment.
moving like that?
And it says, I'll be there tomorrow with 1,000 casters.
Fuck yeah.
Holy shit.
No.
Renair, is there a teleportation circle within the castle?
Yes, it's highly guarded secret, but
Can I look at it?
make a persuasion check. Can I see it?
Oh no.
I'm gonna say with advantage because you're a Mistwalker. You're literally the person that Renair was like, help!
27.
27? Absolutely.
Can I borrow that pen and paper?
Oh, I should open this. Trying to pour through a cap.
Hang on. Go with Alma.
I take these. I'm gonna follow Renair to that room and I'm gonna copy the teleportation circle that he has down there.
Did you switch it off?
Oh, you hand it to her, the quill stays where it is.
Okay, then yes.
You switch it off, hand it back. You get there, reconnect.
Yeah.
He make a quick luck check. You just want to roll above a 5.
Come on, it's penultimate. Natural 20.
Nice.
20, baby!
On a natural 20,
Tell your dice it's penultimate.
you.
So sure.
I'm just going to kind of pile this all together.
Yeah.
On a natural 20, you draw the teleportation circle, state what it is. Firstly, he picks back up because you had to hang up to move because of the way that these quills work.
Right.
Once it's set, it is mirrored. He's still present at his desk. Picks up. You draw the teleportation circle. And he responds, I can be there tomorrow with 1,000 men, or I can be there tonight with 500. Which do you prefer?
Tomorrow with 1,000 should be good, right? Tomorrow with 1,000.
I shall see you before the noon bells ring.
Good. This room is inside.
All right. Leave the doors open.
Yeah, I can do that.
That's kind of what makes it a room.
No, but if he thought it was outside and then he crammed 1,000 people in here all at once, that would be bad.
I think Valdon would be a little bit more
What if he thought it was outside?
What if he's doing multiple
cautious
trips?
about how to transport people. Stop putting them in barrels.
He continues to write, I'll be sending men through every couple of hours. Have guards standing by with instruction.
Great.
I shall arrive with the last batch upon the morrow, before the noon bells ring.
God.
The most flowery script. And then there's another little pause, and then he writes, Isogel is coming too.
I draw a little heart.
I'm giving him one more paragraph, and I swear I'm going to kill him.
Okay. So we'll
Silas
have,
gets a new catchphrase in the second to last episode.
we'll have 1,000 casters plus Isagel and Baldwin. I went somewhere else for just a moment.
What are these
My nose is bleeding again.
statues?
Yes,
Are they operational? Are
the
they-
walking statues are being activated. We're not going to activate them too soon because they can cause a lot of damage to the city itself. They are incredibly magical. Force Grey will be in charge of that as well.
Do you have a way of speaking to the city all at once to make announcements, emergency?
Yes, I do.
Can we borrow that?
Could you tell me what you're going to say first? I don't want to cause a mass panic.
We're going to say Renee sucks.
We're gonna say-
Vetoed.
We already
For
took
like-
it up.
for like
no,
12 hours.
Shalula and I can alternate for a little while, maybe with evacuation announcements that the Mistwalkers are going to do everything we can to save the city, but it's best if we don't have to worry about hurting anyone as we do it.
If you don't plan on leaving, at least get underground.
Right. I can write something up on your behalf. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It may help if we were. Is it a communication or just writing?
It's communication. It is vocal. It's a sort of thaumaturgic spell that amplifies your voice throughout the city from various stones.
This one's a public speaker.
Yeah. What if all three of us go? That way they know for sure that you've called in help.
Are you ready now?
Well, sure.
Sure. Yes.
Excellent. Follow me. This is all happening over the course of probably a couple hours.
Yeah.
As you can now see droves of scholarly types who actually look, they're wearing scholarly robes, but a lot of them have burn scars or these different spiral-like patterns that you can tell are scars from different types of magics. These are basically these warrior wizards that Valdwin has just started feeding through the teleportation circle, one after the other. And it's becoming much more crowded, but people are being allocated in different places. And yeah, he leads you up a staircase, and looking out for the first time in the staircase, which is there are these arches that are open to the air. And there's a little bit of a chill in the air at this time of year, as we start getting into late fall, early winter.
I want that.
But looking out over the sea, you can see amongst the waves in the distance are probably anywhere from 100 to 150 ships that are all stationed in a big arc around the city, around the port, I should say. You get the sense that trade has been shut down for the time being. Any ships that would be coming into the city are being diverted. Or rather, any ships that are arriving at the city are coming in. Any ships that would be arriving at the city or leaving towards it are being diverted from the path of danger. And he leads you up to a smaller chamber than you would expect. It's nearby. There's all of these ropes and pulleys and levers, and you look up and you see that there are a number of bells above you, and you realize that this is where that chime comes from that rings through the city. And there's also this little slight curl that then opens up into a phonograph type cone that you can speak into. Just press this down and everyone in the city will hear you. Shall I start?
It's probably best if we do kind of an intro.
He pushes it down. People of Waterdeep, this is the Open Lord Renaer Neverember. I am here with aid that has answered the city's call. Here to speak to you now are two members of the Mistwalkers.
I will press the button down. We know very well that this is your home and that you absolutely don't want to leave it not knowing what will happen. And we, the Mistwalkers, are going to do everything that we can to save it, but your lives are far more important, and we can't do what we need to do if you stay in the city right now. I'll step back.
True, the duvet here. If for some reason
You swear you hear cheers from somewhere in the city.
if for some reason you cannot leave the city, please consider going underground, as to not have rubble topple over on you. We'll do our best to keep your homes from being destroyed, but we'd like to at least have you not be destroyed along with them.
Excellent. Could I have either one of you?
That was very good, Sugar.
Could I have either one of you make a persuasion check with advantage, or you can each make a persuasion check?
Got plus 11.
I have plus 10, but I can't roll
You
under
can't
10.
fail. Go.
What are you guys talking about? Plus 10.
Cholula can't fail.
Oh, that was so close to a fucking 20. 21.
21. Not bad at all. Oh.
Whoa.
Bow. Excellent. You call this out to the city. Those who are in charge of the evacuations continue.
Renee, I hate to tell you how to do your job. Putting a line of ships out there is absolute horseshit. I'm gonna like grab them by the shoulders. You need to do a pincer maneuver, right? From below the peninsula and into the cove, right? Coming down onto the enemy.
Right.
A line does nothing to
Hey,
dragons.
I hear you. The issue is that it is dragons.
For
We've
sure.
also got ballistae along the walls. They're not going to be swimming here. They're going to be flying in the air.
For sure. I'm just
Regardless
saying,
of where we
you're
approach
giving
them from,
no
they're going to be
chance.
above us.
What you did was you put a cardboard box in front of a dog when you could have put a box around the dog.
I mean, really, the thing here with dragons is that you're going to want to spread out any of your forces as much as possible so that
Right.
less of them are destroyed.
Right.
Dragons
Staggered
tend
amongst
to
the bay.
do lines,
Like a-
cones, big old balls of hate.
Big old balls.
Excellent.
They have
I'll be
giant
honest,
balls.
I have never had to worry about this
No, I
happening
know. You've got a
because
lot
up
going
until
on.
now this was an impossibility.
Yeah. You've got a lot going on. It's not your character I'm attacking. It's this line of
You
ships
were
that's
never
going
supposed to be a
destroyed.
wartime open lord, okay?
I must
And we
say,
know that. Your
I-
basis was education.
Yeah, I mean,
I must
at
say,
the very best.
I was never supposed to be the Open Lord to begin with. When my father was banned, exiled, dishonored, that was it. I never expected to take over for him anyway.
But we
You're
can't
doing
have-
great.
Yeah, we can't have just
Thank you.
You called us.
septuagenarians running everything. You know
Of
what I mean?
course,
Yeah,
of course.
just-
I mean, I'm getting close these days.
well,
No.
It's still
no, I
strange seeing all of you
You don't
exactly
look a
as you
day
were.
older than Silas. Who is
I don't know how old I am. Don't look at me.
Listen, what
Age.
there is, I
I got
deeply
cheese.
value your input, and I will be putting it into practice. Something else that we need to cover. Based on our reports, the charge is being led by one particularly large dragon in comparison. Those who have seen it are claiming that there is a rider atop it. Sorry, I dropped my little fidget toy. It keeps me sane in times of stress. I've had some reports that there's a great knight above it. I've had other reports that it is the King of Grimdor himself leading the charge. I don't know exactly, of course. We only get so many reports before they are cut short. That said, we should discuss your placement in the coming attack, where you would like to defend from, and where you think you would be best suited.
Yeah, what do y'all think about the whole prophecy shit?
It's troubling, but I'd say it's not definitive enough for me to believe that just because you stand and fight with us means that all of the world will be destroyed. feels like a bit much, if I'm being honest.
Is there like a big flat area, maybe partially circular, that kind of an arena of sorts? If you're going to have showdown with some large dragon and a knight atop it.
Is
Well,
it
there is a
possible?
coliseum, but I don't know how you'd lure the dragon there, if it's, especially if it's being ridden.
Did we already do the bad thing? Do you know what I mean? Did we all
You said that you've met Horus.
Yeah.
right?
Horus, who I presume is probably Zephyrus Grimble.
Probably.
Sure.
Yeah.
If their interpretation of the prophecy is what they're staking everything on, and he believes that you have to fight when the nations clash,
They would probably go to wherever we told them we're gonna be.
right, they would probably, he at least, would probably ensure that you are fighting. Which means wherever we place you is where he likely will go. We've got defenses, we've got backup, lots of backup from those left behind in Misternor, apparently. It seems a great deal of very tangible and helpful forces did not join up with the Misternorian forces, thankfully, to our benefit. We can do our best to hold the Dragon Riders and the naval fleets at bay, but I think it would be up to you to cut the head off of the snake.
I'm pulling up a map.
So
Hang on.
you said
I mean, we
people
would-
have seen him, the dragon and the rider and whatever. Did we
Yes.
get a description of
He's
the
wearing,
dragon?
Yeah, they
it,
seem to be color coded.
it is
from
black
our
of scale.
Black.
I don't know if it's onyx or some sort of patented metallic,
Probably obsidian based on everything we've run into.
potentially.
I think I might be skipping my morning workouts tomorrow.
So,
Hmm.
In favor of like a large breakfast.
That
what's
said,
on the
if you're,
what's on the islands just outside?
we have a number of ballistae set up there that will be our second line of defense outside of the ships.
What of this area here? And I'm gonna like motion to. It's kind of like grassy
Nose.
area. Yeah, the nose of Waterdeep.
Silas, make a history check with advantage. Yes, those are the southern shores. It is.
History, you say?
Yeah.
Okay, here it comes. The information you asked for. 21.
They're public beaches, typically open for those who are swimming or want to fish. What did you roll?
21.
21. That's the beach where you woke up.
Oh shit! I would point at that. That seems to be in the
just wonder if we're
proximity
out
of the city.
In front
It's
of the
a-
docks.
It's a flat area of land, mostly sand. Not much to in outside of the stones to hide behind, but it could keep a higher damage toll within the city if you could lure them there. Another option is
Is it brandy or something? I start like elbowing cushions, tables.
don't
he
think it's set up the
reaches
same.
into his robes and pulls out a flask and hands it to you.
Thank you.
It's out of the way. Another option, if there's any part of the city that you are particularly familiar with, that you know well, that could be used to your advantage.
Who owns Bramble Manor currently?
I know this one. I know
I
this
was
one.
kind of hoping you would say that you did and we could use it.
Unfortunately not.
The Jasselmanters on
It's
witness protection.
It is owned by the Agundar family, Lord Dagrin Agundar, Dwarvish nobleman, head of the Agundar family, famous for their weaponry, tinkering, and mercenary work outside of the city.
What about
At least
the?
it's a
How
Yeah.
about inside of the city?
We've got a number of them bolstering our
Great.
forces.
What about the house above the thing where we got all of the stuff? The dragon
The
we
Vault
murdered
of
that
Dragons?
woman?
Yeah.
Yes.
Could we lure them into the vault?
I don't know.
I doubt it. I mean, potentially if you, like...
It's pretty small, if you remember.
If you let...
Oh, that's true. That would be bad
but
for us.
there was a
mostly.
dragon in there.
Depending on how fast it is, you could potentially lead it on a chase if it doesn't catch up with you.
And convince it to turn into a humanoid form and then follow us down a small
Well,
staircase.
we really don't have to convince him on the battlefield at all. We can just
We've got 3
reach out
days.
to
We
him
can...
the day before and tell him exactly where we're going to be.
That's true, you could do that. Although I don't know if he would hesitate. That would be pretty clearly luring him into a trap. I don't know if he'd go for it.
It would be luring him into the fight that he wants.
Right. Worth a shot.
We could also ask him to pick. Give him some options.
Sure.
As long as we don't let them monologue, you know what I mean? Like,
I think we're gonna do it no matter
No,
what.
monologuing is great. That's perfect time for disintegration.
yeah, no, it's not bad. It's not that I don't like the monologue. It's just like lately, I'm like,
I don't like how they
oh.
speak in riddles.
Yeah, it's like just speak plain, right? Just so we want you to die, and we want everyone else to be different. Ha! Or, just be. This is very strong. This is good stuff.
Yes. Are you going to contact him now?
No, at most the night before.
All right. Should we formulate a plan as to where you'd like to stage this fight? I have a feeling he'll go wherever you are.
The Colosseum is big, somewhat contained.
I say we do the beach.
I'd say the Vault of Dragons would be perhaps a bad choice because if the dragon is as sizable as the reports have said, he may
Too
just
big.
try to collapse the tower over top you.
Yeah.
Colosseum, we can duck into tunnels
So
and
we
things.
wouldn't be fighting.
Right.
The beach is a bit too open
Be
for a dragon
fighting
fight.
your way
If
out,
we-
perhaps.
If
Fighting
we
for
use
survival,
the
maybe that's
beach
enough.
Up against the walls of the city, then we can still duck for cover behind the walls and some of the buildings that are there, but at least we can always move in
Yeah.
to the city, whereas if we're in the Colosseum and he just melts the Colosseum as soon as we duck into tunnels.
And that's the risk anywhere, isn't it? I
You
would
think-
say we could do some illusory cover, but I can't imagine we can put any kind of illusion past
Oh,
these things.
he's got those glasses.
Yeah, and also he's got the dragon that has been around since time immortal, probably. Eternal. I think it was eternal.
One
His
of those.
brandy is very sweet.
Do I know what type of damage obsidian dragon would do?
Make a nature check.
Ooh, we never do those here.
Yeah.
So don't. Do a different one.
And
It's
not working.
D&D. D&D beyond.
By beyond, they mean you have to swipe
24.
beyond spells to get to actions.
24.
Damn.
Yee.
That's pretty neat.
I would say Howie, as a frequent purveyor
And
of
also
magical
a
goods,
little guy.
Yeah.
and also a little
Also-
guy.
Yeah,
I
you're
love dragons.
Yeah, you love dragons.
I love dragons.
Fucking, you might easily be enthralled by them. I'd say.
Technically is one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dragon puppy.
Dragon puppy.
I will say on that roll, you would be aware that an obsidian dragon would be necrotic in nature, most likely. But you would also be aware that based on what you've been told, there's no way to tell at this moment whether it is obsidian or whether it's just a chromatic black dragon or if it's some type of metallic dragon that has got a dark patina to it.
What's chromatic black dragon?
Chromatic black dragon would be acid.
Acid.
Well, I mean, the answer might be.
Is there any type of breath weapon that would be like, I don't know, vile ink falling from the skies or something?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Necrotic sounds about right.
Sounds inky.
Which would be great for me, actually.
Oozed molten.
Would be great for you.
Well, Well, not as bad as acid. I'm resistant.
Molten blood?
Right.
Is
So
that
still
anything?
bad, but better.
Less bad.
Better than acid.
But not great.
Better than acid.
I guess that would be more of the lava. I don't know
At
why
this point, as you guys are continuing to have this conversation, Vajra Safar has arrived and has.
Audra.
Yes, hello.
What's up?
Hey,
It's been some time.
yes. And growing thinner by the moment.
I chastise you for not taking more jobs from the Black Hand, but seems you were busy elsewhere.
Yeah.
About a decade.
Right, certainly. Time flies.
Walked. We walked. It was like 20-foot walk.
Through the mist, I presume.
Yeah, it didn't really feel
Apt.
like very far. Yeah.
Lord Neverember, he's like, yes, Vajra. We've got an influx of wizards from Misternaught that have been sent through our teleportation circles. If you could take charge and place them where they would be most duly needed.
Duty.
She gives a very gracious bow and turns and leaves. Does not say goodbye to any of you.
All right. Your flask is empty.
Right. Okay.
Is she always like that, or does she hate us specifically?
She's always like that.
Okay, good.
Um,
Good.
The Blackstaff is quite curt and says precisely what she means and nothing more. That's been my experience.
As long as it's not just us.
Kurt.
No. She's like that with me as well.
I spent a lot of time with her after I died that one time. You remember?
I do.
And it was like that the whole time.
Yes.
Some people need therapy. You know?
Lie down on the
Opening up
couch.
to people.
What does that mean?
What?
Oh, just in general?
Yeah, I wasn't
Her?
quote. Yeah, just
Oh, my God.
we were mentioning someone who's terse.
I thought you were
curt,
telling me I should go to
cold.
therapy. I think we should get through some other
Oh,
things
oh yeah,
first.
bigger fish.
I think
Yeah.
perhaps maybe we'll all go to therapy when this is over.
If we live,
Assuming we are alive, yes.
which we might not be.
Right.
But we probably will.
I mean, a lot of dragons seems like pretty bad.
Seems bad.
So,
I could fight a
Bad.
dragon. It's the guys with the pincer arms. I just get cold feet, literal cold feet when I see
Oh,
them.
the
Yeah,
spike bullets.
yeah, those.
So, over the course of the next couple of days, as a number of more people
1,000.
arrive, yes, what I was going to say,
Sorry.
a number more people choose to evacuate after the speech that Alma and Cholula and kind of Renair gave. The city is, in its center, eerily quiet and calm. There are a few stragglers who refuse to leave their homes or businesses. They've spent their entire lives building them up, and they're not going to leave just because some dragons are coming flying through. But things are bustling around the borders, particularly around the southern border. There are still forces at the northern borders of the city along the walls, just in case any type of pincer movement is attempted, which would be unlikely because they would, the city would gain reports from, at the very least, Galen's Folly, if not Strandwick and Fort Hornwood. They have been provided with a number of far quills by Valdwin, who's basically delivered one to each major city in Windfell at this point. And they set up a system so that basically every hour on the hour, all of the far quills contact one another and report the status of the cities, so that if anyone does not respond, they will know that either the city has fallen or needs aid.
That's a stressful thing to have
Isn't it?
once an hour.
Valdwin arrives with Isagel. They are happy to see you. What are you guys getting up to in particular? Are there any specific plans that you guys need to make as the coming war approaches?
We need to decide on where we're going to meet with
Why not the Colosseum
horse.
and then line the top of it with casters? Draw them in, have a speech, and then the casters do the first volley and bolt.
I think if there are more than just us there, we're gonna lose the opportunity.
They're not like
And the
visible, but the first volley they could.
It might also just mean like, just because we're calling just him there doesn't mean just him is gonna show up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, he just wants to make sure that we fight someone.
Yeah, if anything, we just throw everyone else at us, right? Make us fight.
I think certainly that he would face us himself, or at least have his dragon face us. But again, there's no guarantee that he's not going to bring backup.
Mm-hmm.
It's another one of those "what do we plan for" kind of thing.
Something I do want to ask DM to players: which of your friends are you bringing with you to this fight? To this specific fight? You have access to whoever is in the city. You've got Baldwin, Isagel, Pete's here, Genevieve, Cherry, and Mayo are both down to clown.
Pippin is also here.
Pippin's also here.
I'd say whoever wants to. Like, I don't think Silas would ask anyone to join,
Yeah.
given the prophecy is about us.
Okay.
I think if people aren't willing to join, we would ask them to take part in efforts
Oh, yeah,
elsewhere.
Everyone that is here is going to participate in
Doing
some way.
something.
I'm asking if there's anyone specifically that you want to be fighting with you in your battle.
Aronox.
I mean,
He's either gone or dead.
I think
Oh.
if we're
I want to ride a giant. Have they arrived?
Oh, the giants do arrive, yeah.
I
Hell
think
yeah.
as far as the duvets go, if everyone is willing, if we're all gonna probably die, we might as well do it fighting side by side.
Absolutely. Genevieve assumes that she will be with you.
oh,
Okay.
Is that a problem?
Presumptuous.
I was just gonna. I thought maybe it would be better if you were leading efforts elsewhere, and
Where? Where would you have me? Away from my husband and daughter, fighting for their lives against the dragon?
You started this. You gotta finish it. What are you gonna do? Oh, you started this. You said she couldn't do something.
Silas, please.
Oh.
This is serious.
I just don't necessarily think we should all die.
And who's to say that we will?
Oh, what? It's cool if I die?
I'll be there too.
Oh.
And so will I. At
What
least
about
if
the
we
Delisnia kid? How's she doing?
at least if we die,
She's not here. She didn't come look.
she's in children still. At least if we die together.
You've done it before. Seems
She's in
easy.
Mr.
She's in Wiltblue.
Right, she's at Wilbur.
Yeah.
My bad.
It's probably fine.
Who cares?
Who gives? You know what? Who gives a shit? Orphan kids.
I just know
Not
that if
Kev.
All of us but Alma.
if I were not to join you and to be elsewhere, and all of you were to fall and I were to survive, I would never forgive myself.
Survivor's guilt.
Fall. For the fall.
He's onto something.
No.
Oh, okay.
Are you just saying bomb over and over again?
Fall.
No, I'm just making plans for.
Oh, we could make some bombs.
Oh, like.
We should
Oh,
do
no.
that.
Oh,
Thunderball might be good to have.
bombs. Dragons breathe.
That's planning ahead. Those dragons, a lot of people are
Dragons
like, oh,
breathe.
dragon breath. Oh, dragon claws, dragon teeth. They
Hang
forget
on
the
a moment.
dragons can just pick you up and fly and then fucking drop you.
Yeah.
Dragons breathe.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they do.
Like on purpose.
All kinds of stuff.
Do you have more of that thing?
No, but this one did.
Oh yeah.
What, the cheese? The cheese? You guys want some cheese?
I want some cheese.
Yeah.
I didn't bring my
I've got some
cheese.
cheese.
No, the
Comes out a nice brie and peels the top off.
The coughing stuff. What was I calling
Oh,
it?
the dust.
Oh, the dust of
cheese
cheesing.
choking. and cheese. Also, there's cheese.
Sorry, my brain is in one
Somebody
place.
can feed
sure,
some
yeah.
cheese.
The
Some people
dust
show up
of,
from Chill Run and you're really stuck on it.
the dust of sneezing and choking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've got like 2 uses of it.
How about more? Do you have like other shops?
No. I mean, I have storefronts. Most of them are filled with general goods. All the magic shit is on me.
That's neat. Hey, I don't know how your fucking business runs.
Oh.
Do you know how to mist walk? All right, let's have
runs
this
out of here.
conversation.
I mean, more importantly, do we have
And
more
also,
queso?
yes.
What?
More
We've got-
importantly, do we have more queso?
I call it Misty Scootin', though.
I've got, I think, one more. I'd have to check.
So
That's sort of
either-
a thing that you have to get in wherever we were, isn't it?
Yeah.
So either way, we still only have one shot. No matter how much dust of sneezing and coughing we have.
Just go for the main one. It seemed to
wait.
be very effective.
I made that with the
Dust.
You made that with the queso powder.
powder or the dragon, whatever. What,
You made that with queso.
You made
Yeah,
that
I
with
know
queso
that.
powder.
Powder.
And
Okay,
sneezing and
just the
choking
powder.
dust.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you use some alcohol as like a
Yeah.
emulsifier.
Emulsifier.
That could be at least the opening. You know, it didn't seem to move away with the breeze. It seemed to kind of linger.
So, Cholula, you said you're inviting the Duvets?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If
I'm
they
just
want.
going to go ahead and write down
Everyone
everyone
that we know.
who will be fighting alongside you. In addition to the Mistwalkers, we've got Genevieve,
Got 2 left. Refined quesos.
Okay.
we've got Pete Scuttlebomb. I don't know why I wrote his full name. And we've got Pippin, Cherry,
Is Mayo here?
and Mayo.
The giants.
Wellington?
And Wellington.
I want a pack of giants.
Wellington has already convinced. I keep wanting to say Beignet, and I know that's not right.
Beignet.
I think it starts with a B.
Yay!
But nope, it doesn't. It's Franklin.
Wow.
We always called him Beignet growing up.
He's already
Hey,
convinced Franklin to evacuate with Finney, who was in the Manglewood Swamp.
Oh, they found him.
Mhm.
Hell yeah.
So Finney and Franklin, who neither of them are like particularly hardy fighters. They're more like arcane in the sense that they study magic, but not like they're not like min-maxed basically.
Yeah.
They're more interested in like practical magic.
Fuck yeah, I love that movie.
Starring Sandra Bullock
And Nicole Kidman.
and Nicole Kidman.
Nice.
She was always on my mind.
And Diane Reese.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Diane Reese.
Are
So,
we?
We've got Genevieve,
Did
Pete,
you say the Giants?
Pippin, Cherry, Mayo, and Wellington. Did you want to grab where is his name? It's in my notes. I know it's
Goblin?
here. No, he's a giant.
Oh, the giant that has a partner.
Yeah. He's part of the council.
Yeah.
Stoneheart. Stoneheart?
Hey, here we are. Storvold Rhymelock.
I wasn't right.
Yeah, that one.
Would you like to bring him along as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like you can punch a dragon.
Yeah.
Punch.
Is there anyone else?
Oh.
Rabbit and Aurora.
Rabbit's
I'll go.
mom.
Do you guys mind if I take a quick side trip to revive Ollie?
Yeah, fucking Ollie and I don't think I ever got the name of Ollie's partner. Did I?
Heard it like once or twice. It's in my head somewhere.
anything that starts with a K?
If I went right now and
Katya?
burned the rest of the hit points I have to my name, we would all be back right as rain by the time the dragon's gay.
What I'm hearing is protect this one, because any of us who die in this fight, if she's around,
I've got this
maybe we
thing.
got a fighting chance to come back.
Yeah,
Or like
Cholula
the
and-
bracelet.
Can anybody make me another one of those? Can you make me another one of those?
What?
Cholula and Silas both have bracelets that, if they fall, it will cast the Spare the Dying cantrip.
And a bracelet of stabilization, it says here on the corner.
I do not think
Well,
that Howie has access to that spell.
I don't, but
So are we going Coliseum or beach?
yeah, y'all talk.
There's
let me
no
think
cover on the
this.
beach.
Let's go Coliseum.
All right.
Like, some people can't dodge fire breath. We could build small cover bits. I don't know if we have the time, but we could build little barricades that we can duck behind. Shit, now I don't know where to find it.
Are you sure we're not just going to be trapping ourselves in a little bowl of death?
I worry about that.
Maybe open is good. We can stay spread out, you know?
I could clear a path, but yeah, I mean, open's fine.
I mean, in the same way that you want to create cover in the Coliseum, we could do at the beach as well.
That's true. We could.
And if
We
we
can
stay
fortify
near the
the beach.
walls, we can always fall back.
Yeah, the beach.
We can't fall back from the Coliseum. We'll be locked in.
Just the beach. Just the beach. Probably completely different by now. It's been 10 years. Probably every grain is different. Every grain of sand.
Did that beach
Seem
like kick your
mad
ass or
about
something?
it?
No.
Are you going to be at the top of your game if we're fighting on that beach?
Yes. No, I'll be fine. I don't want to die there, you know?
Well, yeah, none of us do, probably.
The goal is for nobody to die there.
And if anybody dies,
Horrors.
I'll work on it.
we'll bring diamonds to Alma. And she'll
Howie has
sacrifice
some
her soul
diamonds,
to
too.
bring you back.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, yeah, you can do it like in the moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Also, try not to lose your body. Neither of us can fix lost body.
Okay.
You have wood.
I think you can.
You
Do we want to try the thing with the holes?
I didn't fully understand the thing with the holes. What were you asking? Do I have wood?
I can make the thing you want. I can make it.
If I have wood?
No. What?
Did you ask wood?
If you're willing to give up one of the other items I gave you.
But who was phone?
I can.
I can make you a periaptive wound closure.
Well, it would be for you.
Me?
But I guess I could also just stay nearby you.
I think you would
Pass it over.
maybe need it, right?
But you can just make that for whoever.
Yeah.
Maybe you should make some of those.
Like one, I can make one.
Oh, yeah.
But I
I
have
mean,
to give up other things.
oh,
If you don't think you'll need it, then I'm not worried about
It stabilizes you when you're dying, and when you roll hit dice, you double the number it
Oh.
restores.
it. That's not bad.
I'm going to tell you guys what I told everybody that was in this situation with me last time. If I go down, baby, just let it ride.
Is that a non-resuscitate?
A DNR?
Yeah, just leave me dead.
Do not revivify. What if it's. Wait, follow up question.
Uh-huh.
What if it's during the fight and we still need your help?
That's fine.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Yeah, if there's still fighting to be done, hell yeah, bring me back.
But if you die after the fight,
But if I
from some
die-
kind of cardiac
But if I
event-
like die and then you kill it before I come back, just don't even bother.
we're going to lie to you.
Save your diamonds.
From
I
what
refuse. I
understand,
know how that shit works. It's happened to me before. You get a choice.
The holes are both things that open into another, like an interdimensional space.
Okay.
So if you put one of them inside the other, they implode on themselves and create a gate to the astral plane. And anybody within like 10 feet will get sucked through, and then it closes and they can't come back. And I feel like maybe we could try that out on the dragon.
You could throw some holes
Can
at
they
them.
get back?
You'd be
No.
like sacrificing yourself if we did that, right? Because in
Not
order to put one of them
necessarily.
inside the other one, you're gonna be closer than 10 feet to it, right? I guess
I
you could
mean-
ball it up and
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean,
I
you
could-
can open
I could-
one on the ground, and if it get close enough, yeah, stick it on the end of an arrow.
you can use
fire
that
it
on things
through.
that aren't people.
Oh no, like catapult.
Oh, nice.
How heavy is it?
It's like nothing.
I think it's like maybe 10 pounds.
Portable
that.
hole is 0 pounds.
Oh, nice.
I could carry it. And I
I
wouldn't
can
have
just shoot it at something. It's fine.
I just like send a mist hand over to Cholula and hold it out.
Pete high fives you with a similar spectral
How
robot
far
hand.
away can your mist go?
I'm not sure.
If you
It's like
give
30
me,
feet, I think.
if you give me more than 10 feet
That would be
away,
far enough.
then the only thing we'd have to worry about is we'd have to set out one of the holes first and get him close to it. Now, we could be like, hey, fucking dead-ass Kendry's in there. Take a look for yourself.
I don't think he'll care.
Probably not.
We
It might
could-
also, I don't know what kind of stuff this guy's working with, but if you were like, look, your friend's dead body, he might just be like, oh, cool, and then like raise her or something.
Maybe.
That would be bad.
That'd be a
for
problem
us.
for us.
Yeah, so maybe we put the empty one down first.
So, what if we
It just has to be
couldn't?
open enough to put the other one inside, and he's got to be within 10 feet for it to suck him in.
We could also try just having a signal. Two different people
One
have
runs
the
by
portable
quickly.
holes, and you both hold until you see the other one move.
Yeah, as long as it.
Are we outside, inside? Where are we right now?
We're
You
in
tell
like
me.
the war room planning, right?
You can be wherever you want planning.
Actually,
I've
this
been
is-
seeing this as multiple scenes over
Yeah.
multiple days.
Okay.
Can we go outside real quick?
Okay.
Yeah.
Just gonna like take some chalk or something and like do a circle on the ground.
Yeah.
And
You
then-
see that in the distance, you can see like the beach that you guys have been talking about is started being fortified. There are like little bunkers being built and stones piled in certain ways to create little barriers and things. You start drawing on the ground with chalk.
Yeah, I'm just gonna make a circle that's, I don't know, however big the hole is or whatever.
6 feet.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the other portable hole, like curled up or whatever, and try to catapult it at the other hole.
You're
Okay.
gonna do that now?
He's just
Just
doing
a-
it at a chalk circle.
Okay.
Yeah. Does catapult? Do you roll an attack roll?
It is a saving throw against people, so it says the object flies in a straight line up to 90 feet in a direction of your choosing before falling into the ground.
Okay.
Stopping it early if it impacts against a solid surface.
So for just chucking it,
You'd have
To
to,
a
get 90
place.
feet away, exactly.
I don't
Oh, no,
what
let's
he
the
find
doesn't
out.
have to be
is.
90 feet away.
See what it is.
Is it straight line
it's
as in
plastic.
horizontal to the ground, or straight line as I can aim it down, or
Up to 90 feet. So you don't have to be 90 feet away, but you can get up to.
The object flies in a straight line up to 90 feet.
But then
Oh, okay. So
for
it just.
stopping, it says.
So yeah, I'd say honestly, by the way,
Unless you're aiming at.
by the way that this is worded, you wouldn't. It would just succeed.
Yeah.
As long as there's nothing blocking the straight line, it would make it.
Yeah.
Is that.
That
when you
being said,
Toss it like that.
the way that the beach is being set up currently is so that there aren't a lot of like straight line paths, because dragon.
The way that you are tossing that.
That's
is
not to
that,
say if you got some height you couldn't do it.
Is that magic? Is that like something that can be counted?
Yeah.
I can counter a counter.
Like,
Okay.
but then I'd just throw it. I don't know.
Okay.
I think that's the best option, honestly.
Just throwing it.
And as with
Yeah,
all
I mean,
the
because then
other
nobody
coun-
has to be near it. Sorry.
well, how far can you throw?
I don't know.
Goes 90 feet.
If he throws it with
If
his
you-
hands?
Oh, did you use catapult?
No.
No.
Oh,
This
let's
is
just
we're trying to
throw
see
it.
how far he can throw it with his
Gotcha.
little
Make
dog
enough-
dragon hand.
Make an athletics check.
Yeah. Natural 1. Which
he takes it like bunched up in a ball and it like opens and lands on the floor like 2 feet away from him.
Okay, hang on. I'm gonna
That's
build
a
it
problem.
back up, and then this is basically like I want to know what the DC is. If I'm like 30 feet away, 60 feet away, whatever, and I stick it to the end of an arrow and fire the arrow at the circle to just hit a 6-foot circle, like what would my attack roll have to be, I guess, is what I'm trying to find out.
It would be dependent on the area you're trying to hit and what distance you're at.
Well, that's why she's trying it currently.
Correct.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is like, it's a similar situation to when you're firing arrows at a target. That's
Yeah.
exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
In the heat of combat, it's slightly different. So there are different variables that could alter it. But from a basic standstill, there's nothing in your way. It would basically, you just have to roll to hit an armor. If it's within range of your bow,
Yeah.
you just have to roll to hit an armor class of like 15. And I'd say you'd probably make the attack roll at disadvantage because the arrow is weighted down.
Okay.
Because it is a magical item, you can't like puncture it to stick it on the arrow, so you have to like wrap it around the head and tie it on.
Yeah. Oh, cool. 1. We're doing really good at this. Which makes, I mean, I guess it's a crit fail, but it would be a 12.
Yeah, on that one it goes just short. I will say, even though it was a natural one, you get the sense that it is doable.
Okay. I'd probably have to, I mean, I could do it this way if for some reason it's not working out with the catapult. But we do run the risk if the first way that we try doesn't work, that he may realize what we're trying to do.
Well, in that case, we just do like we've done with every other plan we've had so far and burn it all to the ground.
Yeah.
I think that the odds of setting this up are low. But it's not like he can get more pissed just because we tried to send him to the astral plane, right?
Of course
so like,
we would try to send him to the astral
of
plane.
course we would do that. Who wouldn't try? So if we start there and fail,
Do we know he doesn't have a way back on his own?
No.
nope.
Okay, well just keep that in mind too.
Yep. Maybe he'll run into Kairos.
I'm gonna fly and hit things and do whatever.
I have a
That's-
similar plan.
Yeah.
I can't fly, so I'll be on the ground hitting things.
I think Howie could make you fly.
I could. Yeah.
I've got an arrow.
Do you want that wound closure thing?
No.
I'm gonna fight stuff until it doesn't fight me back. That's kind of my plan. I don't know what it is. There's more than one dragon coming?
Yeah.
Neat. So let's plan for each and every one of those.
I feel like it's been a while. Would I have actually looked at that scroll? Like, taking the time to do that?
Would you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I am way more interested in stuff like that than what people have to say.
That tracks for Howie.
Time for spell scrolls. Maybe it's a scroll of no more dragon. I hope that it's a scroll of no more dragon.
Are you working on the
Never
Kesso bomb
know.
things? The coffee bombs?
We can do that if you want. Yeah, I've got 2 uses of Kesso left.
He's got 2 potions. Or 2 of the bags of sneezy coffee.
Sneezy
You just do
coffee.
1 if you only have a certain amount of things.
Yes, this is a scroll of mass suggestion.
from like.
All of you dragons, I suggest you get in that hole.
Get in that hole. Get in that hole.
Get in the hole. Get in the hole.
Can I find out from like Pete or from like the other like shop that had magic items or potions or whatever if I can find something that helps grant resistance to different like elemental types of damage?
It's I have so many things that can help with that. None of them do necrotic. Necrotic is hard. If we're
Yeah.
actually going up against obsidian dragon, that's
Yeah,
hard.
necrotic and like force and radiant stuff is really, really hard to combat, to defend against.
Yeah, but
It's
like
very rare.
anything because I don't have any sort of resistances to any sort of elemental types of damage.
Yeah, I've got like a cloak that can make you acid resistant.
Okay.
Like a 1 in 3 shot, that's helpful.
Yeah. Assuming that only the one dragon comes.
Right. Well, that'll be
Afterwards.
more for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have anything that can help.
Do you want that?
Yeah.
Is there anything that makes you, I don't know, unbelievably charming to one dragon in a way that makes you, I don't know, to convince them that they should fight the other dragons instead of more than one dragon fighting us?
By way of charming them, potentially. But again, dragons are hardy creatures, so the odds of them falling for something like that are slim.
Why don't we just fight them? You know, we can try to be clever, but we always end up just fighting things anyway. Last time we were clever, we fought things, and they went away.
I mean, I think we're just trying to come up with some kind of backup plan. Or, I guess, plans A and B. Sometimes they work. Sometimes
I mean, but
once
this
or
is,
twice they work.
yeah, this has already been decided, hasn't it? Why don't we just fight, and then we'll reflect upon the fate that was laid out in front of us.
So then the only question left is whether or not we should tell Horace where we're going to be or let him find us.
If we tell them where we're going to be, it's less likely that they'll swoop about the city, destroying everything they see.
Or he might do it on purpose because he knows we're watching.
Sure.
Either way, we'll be fighting, which is what he wants. So.
Well, we can try not fighting and see if they do a lot of talking, you know, if we don't take the first swing kind of a thing. But
Right.
5 dragons or so
That's
doesn't
kind
really
of
seem very good.
what I was wondering at earlier is whether or not the part where we become weapons and set everything off has already happened. Right? Because if you think about it,
Well, the part coming up is the nations clashing part,
right. And we already
where we're supposed to be weapons. But if we don't fight, they'll kill everyone that we care about, which usually causes us to fight. Or we can send ourselves to the astral plane.
It could be a quick getaway.
hang on.
Might be better than dying.
Maybe.
If you live, you can fight again.
When nations clash with weapons drawn, that's us. And the people that we're fighting right now are the nations of Mistinor and
Grimdall.
Grimdall. So we're clashing against them.
I mean, we're clashing with Horus.
Right, under the guise of nations.
Yeah. He happens to be a king or whatever.
The
now.
black rain shall fall over deepest seas. They're flying over the ocean currently. and we're fighting them on the beach, even though Silas hates it. And Heights of Power.
Waterdeep. Most powerful city in Winfell.
So it could mean that we're gonna win.
Maybe.
I intend to win.
I hope to win.
That was my plan. Were you guys gonna do something else?
Silas looks like we've already lost.
It depends on how many dragons, I guess.
It does depend on how many dragons fight us specifically. If it's 2, I think we're ruined.
I don't think we've already lost. Nothing has happened. You know, like I'm not gonna let some text tell me how it goes, or spend my time pontificating on whether or not it's correct. I just want to do it already. Is that so bad? I just want to live in the present. I don't want to read things about the future, spend my time in the past.
I agree. I'm glad that guy's fucking dead. Or whatever.
I'm glad God's dead on a t-shirt would really be something.
Nobody determines my future but me, baby. So,
Alright.
Are there any final preparations that anyone wants to make?
I guess we set up small intermittent barricades on a beach, so it's not just a beach.
I think that's already happening.
Yeah.
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 And then I guess we have all of our like interpersonal relationships joining us in this fight. Casters, do we want them in the city or do we want them with us?
I've actually, we've also received an influx of druids from the Manglewood Swamp.
Great.
They've decided that it is in the best interest of all the people of Winfell to mount a strong defense here.
It's true.
We've stationed teams of them along, basically they're teams of them along the coastline in, around the city, along city walls, I should say, so that any volleys of arrows, or the majority of volleys of arrows coming in, they will create walls of wind that will hopefully deflect those arrows away from our forces.
Great.
At least a large number of them. As far as the casters, we've got them set up in staggered positions throughout the city, in groups of no less than 6.
Okay.
Were we able to get? I guess it doesn't matter. Any of the like Tritons that we rescued, but they aren't great fighters, and there's not going to be anything going on the water, probably.
Also, a number of them were members of the Children of the Mist.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. I think we're good.
Okay.
How much time do we have until? Like, do we?
You've
till week
had a
3?
total of 3 days.
Okay.
This has all been sort of montaging across that.
After 2 days, I would have all of my hit points back naturally, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't need chunky beverage.
Oh, yeah, this is long list.
I wish. Do you need to know right now? This instant.
What?
Hold on. How many things do I have?
No. I mean, if you, I'm just asking if there are any specific preparations that you guys want to make.
I want to
known.
make the dust, the thing, one of those.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and make a tinkering check. I'm gonna say.
Please do it in the garden.
I'm gonna say with advantage because you've done this once before successfully.
Forget what tinkering.
Intelligence
actually
plus proficiency.
means. Okay. Yeah.
And then I think you get a boost if you use tools.
5, 6, 11. At least like 22.
Yeah, absolutely. You can successfully make another bomb of sneezing and choking.
Cool.
All right. So you all find your rest in different ways on the night before.
Yeah. I'll remember it in 4 hours.
Renair receives reports the next morning that
the forces should be in eyesight by sunset. As the forces
It'll be
approach.
dark.
What's up?
It'll be dark.
Oh, again, another one of those.
Perhaps. As you stand amidst the fortifications on the beach where the Silas first awoke, looking unrecognizable from how it did, you look out over the Gulf of Windfell and there's a cold breeze that blows from the south. The sun has begun to set on the horizon, painting the overcast clouds with gradients of pink, gold, and violet, and a light snow begins to fall around you. In the distance, you see splotches of black growing like a blight over the Sea of Squalls. As they get closer, you see the shapes of massive warships, galleons, and specks among the clouds. You can hear the distant rumble of chants, organized yells, and the sound of steel on steel as far-off soldiers clang their weapons against armor and shields. These distant yells are soon overpowered by screeches, hissing, and roars. The specks among the clouds take shape, and you see murders of wyverns and flocks of young dragons, each festooned with ornate saddles that bear riders wielding glaives, halberds, and bows. Then, you hear something that's become all too familiar to each of you now. The beating of heavy wings. Breaking through the clouds is a dark shape wrought of obsidian and dripping black bile. The gargantuan form of an ancient black dragon leads the charge, with a familiar figure standing proudly atop its crown, with a twisted golden staff in one hand and a wicked maul that trails darkness blacker than the night in the other. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh shit.
We'll see you guys next week
Gonna kill that
for
guy.
the finale episode of Campaign 1 of Arcanarama.
So that was the last episode.
The end. Before we go,
If COVID is to be believed.
Before we go, I want to shout out once again our lovely patrons. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. Shout outs to Definitely Not Sam, Scott Shear, Nita Yilva, Eric Firm, Robin Stone, Freya Odensdottir, Tina Holt, and Al. Thank you guys so much. It makes what we do possible. And it's very fun to create all of the extra little content that we get to for you over on Patreon. So check it out and consider becoming a patron if you haven't already. Yeah, big episode next week. It's probably going to go long, so be prepared for that. But it's the last one of its kind. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll catch you next week with some special announcements and our finale episode. But until then,
Stay safe out there, adventurers!
Wah, wah, wah! Wah, wah, wah!